if you were on the receiving end of the things that people have had to be on the receiving end of from this person, you probably wouldn't be speaking so aggressively towards the person simply trying to protect herself. I used all the words. You just wouldn't.
Okay, let me go. I have to repeat that. I'm sorry. I want you guys to pay attention to where she says, if you were on the receiving end of what this person, was on, and she talks about protecting yourself, right? Let's listen to that.
That people shut the fuck up and just mind your own goddamn business. It does not matter what any of these people think is valid or
Right
not.
after this.
I'll tell you something. If you were on the receiving end of the things that people have had to be on the receiving end of from this person, you probably wouldn't be speaking so aggressively towards the person simply trying to protect herself.
Okay, so Tiffany, if you're listening, let me just explain something to you. I was on the receiving end of far worse. And when I say far worse, I'm referring to a man who spent 25 years in prison for what he did. Then he was deported. Okay. So if you're interested in knowing the details of it, look, there's an article, there's a ton of articles, but you can go ahead and Google Canada's most prolific rapist. Okay. Go read that. Go read about that guy. That was me and a bunch of other women, but I was on the receiving end of some really foul shit. Also, my daughter had a stalker from the internet, but he lived like 40 minutes away, unfortunately. He's now in jail for 7 years. So when you say that maybe I shouldn't be talking about something that I don't know anything about, I feel like I kind of do know a little bit about, restraining orders, protection orders, protecting myself, protecting my daughter. I do, which is the very reason why I am against anyone abusing and weaponizing protection orders, restraining orders, stalking orders, the entire court system, the justice system, all of those things, because I've been there. I've been there as a woman, and I've been there as a mother. Crazy. Like I said, I'm only speaking from what I know, from my own personal, well, not personal, just from what I know. And as far as I know, if you were harassing me, I wouldn't be able to get a restraining order on you. I could get a peace bond, but I believe it would have to go through the courts. I'm not sure if we can just get that here. I don't know. I always assumed that there would be, there has to be criminal charges. So, but I mean, again, I've never had to do anything like that personally. I'm good. No, Janie, I'm good. We're just having a conversation about like how restraining orders and things like that work. Depends on the level of what. Let me just. I'm curious now, Miss Brazies. I'm just curious. I'm not. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm just curious. But hey, who am I? I'm not. I mean, you know what? Fuck. I'm not going to tell anybody what they can do. If you want to lie, if you want to, you know what? Here's what's going. I feel like what's going to happen. When you run around and you lie the way that some people do, and you make up stories about the people. Yeah, sure, it'll work for a little while, but don't think that you will not be exposed, because you will be. It's infantile, absolutely. No, we can't. We cannot get restricted. There's no, unless you're in a domestic situation. But no, you can't get restraining orders. You can get a peace bond, or is it a peace bond? Yeah, it's a peace bond, not a restraining order. Again, unless you're in unless it's a domestic violence situation. But I am. Okay, hold on a second. I might be wrong, but hold on a second. I'm just gonna make a quick call. Because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I always thought, you couldn't. Hold on. 416-808-1404. Let's call the police.
14 CRBDC office.
Hi, I'm just calling to ask a question. Can we get restraining orders in Canada?
You do, but it depends on, what are you asking specifically, and are you calling in relation to a case?
Well, if I feel like someone's
the CIB.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, if somebody's harassing me, and constantly, just harassing me or stalking me, things like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's something that you'd have to be reported to the police for.
I'm going to call one more, because I'm now curious, because I want to see, are they really going to, are they going to say the same thing? Okay, now this is going to be the tiebreaker. Hold on. Let's call 40. Wait, no. Next. Let's call the detectives. Hi, I'm just calling to get some. Well, actually, I just want to ask a question. I was wondering what I need to do in order to get a restraining order on someone.
You need to go to the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
speak to justice of the peace, and you can basically have to convince him the situation, so they can, but like you have to tell them your story if they believe that your story is correct, and you have, enough witnesses or evidence, and they will issue the restraining order. It's the courthouse that does not police service.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be anyone I was in a relationship with, right?
No, it can
No?
be anyone.
Oh, anyone. Oh, so what's a peace bond?
Peace bond is between two parties that are before court for whatever reason.
Oh,
Usually in domestic related situation where the judge gives a person a peace bond.
so a peace bond is for domestic.
Mostly for domestic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for